Hello, this is Apollotus.
And this is Altair.
Here at BCE News, we have a very interesting day for you.
That's right, and we're going to start off with our co-anchor, Zanita, who is interviewing Aristotle. To you, Zanita.
Hello, my name is Zanina, reporting for BCE News, and today we are here to talk about our new leader over the Persian Empire, Alexander the Great. He has led many soldiers into battle and comes out victorious. He wanted to punish Persia for invading Greece 150 years ago, but now he is trying his best to combine Persian and Greek culture. We are told he is setting up centers in his empire to spread Greek culture and serve as military outposts. For more insight, we are going to turn to Aristotle, who is Alexander's teacher, for a live interview. Thank you for being here today, Aristotle. What is your take on Alexander's spread of Greek culture?
It's my pleasure. I think that Alexander is benefiting many people with the spread of Greek culture. Persia and Greece both have great things to contribute in future generations if they both are placed in one culture. It'd be better for everyone.
I'm sure it will benefit many people too. Alexander the Great first wanted to punish Persia, but his vision changed. Why did he change his mind?
After Alexander had control of several different territories, he decided that he wanted to take part of Greece and Persia's culture to create an empire. He wanted to unite Europe and Asia, and to make this his goal a reality, he started wearing a Persian dress and even married a Persian woman. He wanted all his soldiers to follow his footsteps to promote his goal.
What did you focus on teaching Alexander when you were his teacher?
We both focused on literature at first, and then we began different subjects. His favorite subjects were science, philosophy, and medicine, which benefit him today.
That's fascinating. Being a commander of an army seems a bit stressful. How do you think he handles it?
To be a great commander, you need to have leadership, great strategies, the ability to lead under pressure, and confidence in yourself and your army. Alexander has all these qualities, and that is how he's so successful in gaining control over territories.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, and I would love to hear from you again. Alexander the Great is a great leader and commander of his army. He has spread Greek culture throughout his empire and beyond. He has conquered many different territories and is known for his great courage in military school. This is Zanita reporting live for BC News, signing off. Back to you, Apollotus.
What a lovely interview that was. Now we're going to go to a special interview with Altair.
This is Altair from BCE News. Today is September 12th, 490 BC. Breaking news just came in, following up our story on the Ionian revolt of Greeks after being conquered by the Persians only to be defeated again. We have just found out that the Persian leader Darius I sent a fleet of around 20,000 warriors across the Aegean Sea. For days they have been at a standoff on the coast of Marathon, about 25 miles north of Athens, with roughly 9,000 Athenian soldiers and their 1,000 Plataean allies. This isn't looking good for our Greek cousins. May Ares, the god of war, be with them all. To further our understandings of the story, we managed to get an exclusive interview with Darius I that will be followed up by a talk with one of the Greek generals on the front lines. Reporting from the Marathon coastline, this is BCE News. We're here live with Persian King Darius I. So Darius, what brings you here?
Athens tried to help the Ionians revolt under my rule. Since they wanted to fight, I brought the fight to them. This is punishment, sweet revenge, and I can expand my empire while doing it.
Don't you think it's a bit unfair outnumbering their army like this?
Of course not. They have a whole land advantage. It still looks like they're too scared to come down to fight, though, huh?
And if they don't?
Then I guess we'll just have to pull it out and go straight to their homeland, Athens.
Alright, thanks for your time, sir. Best of luck. Now we'll hear from one of 10 Athenian generals, Miltiades. Hello. How does it feel looking down upon this hill at a Persian army twice the size of your own?
We're in for a good battle. I've been trying to convince the other generals that we need to take this fight into our own hands and charge them, but they don't seem to agree. Wait! It looks like they're recruiting back to their ships. This is the perfect time to attack. I must go.
This is Altair with a first-hand account of what is diverging as I speak. The Greek army is charging down the hill on horse and foot. They appear to be slaughtering the unexpected Persians, who are now in waist-deep waters. The remaining Persian warriors are fleeing in their ships. It looks as though the Athenians have defeated the Persians. You're watching BCE News, and remember, you heard it from us first.
Thank you, Altair. While we're waiting for Altair to get back here, here's Ambrosia with an interview with Socrates. Ambrosia, over to you.
Hello, this is Ambrosia reporting for BCE News. I'm here with famous philosopher Socrates. Recently, he has been sentenced to death by the Athenian government. I'm here to get his life story. So, Socrates, you were born in Athens, correct?
Yes, this is correct.
Could you tell us a little bit about your family?
My father was Sophronicus, a sculptor and stonemason, and my mother was Phaneretta, a midwife. I was the only child of my parents. My father did not make a lot of money, and I got a basic education and learned his trade. When he passed away, I inherited his assets and became the legal guardian of my mother. My mother eventually remarried and had another son, Patroclus.
And you're married with children?
Yes, I am married to Xanthippe, and we have 3 sons, Lamproclus, Sophronicus, and Menexus. I do not spend much time with my family, though, because I am so dedicated to educating Athens youth, and my wife is not happy with my occupation as a philosopher because it causes us to be very poor. She would be happier if I would dedicate more of my time to stonemasonry, but there's only so much you can know about that trade, and I believe true happiness comes from knowledge.
Oh, well, that's too bad about your wife. But it has come to my understanding that you've served in the army. I heard you were extremely brave and fearless.
Why, yes, in Athens it is required for all men from 18 to 60 to be ready to serve in the military if need be. I serve as a hoplite, which is a foot soldier during the Peloponnesian War. In 432, I was deployed to Potidaea. Later in 424, I was sent to Delium, and a year after that, I went to Amphipolis. All 3 battles were losses for Athens, but I was strongly praised for my bravery on the battlefield. I even saved General Alcibiades.
Very impressive. How did you end up becoming a philosopher then?
I have always found this subject interesting. I was thrilled when I was able to acquire some of the scrolls from Anaxagoras and expand my knowledge. By discussing theories with students and others, I hope not to only develop my understanding of life, but help others develop deeper in their thoughts.
Could you tell us a little bit about your philosophies?
Well, I never write anything down because I believe education is constantly changing, so eventually my work will be obsolete. The best way to learn is always by questioning and discussing. Also, the ultimate happiness comes from knowledge and especially knowing yourself. I have dedicated my life to logic and reasoning and try to discover the truth.
Could you then please elaborate on why the Athenian government has sentenced you to death?
I have been accused of corrupting the youth of Greece by my teachings. On the top of that, I have been accused of impiety and not acknowledging the gods in my teaching. They are also upset with my belief that government should be run by a democracy, but by individuals who possess the greatest ability, knowledge, and virtue.
Well, thank you for agreeing to be here, Socrates. It was a pleasure. Now back to you in the studio.
Good job. Very interesting.
Oh, you're back!
Yeah!
Now we're gonna have a quick commercial break before we go to Nike at the Olympics.
Is your sword too dull to cut bread?
Yeah.
Try Swords by Athena. Now try this.
Now to Nike.
Hello, Nike here with BCE News on the Olympic Games. I can't believe it's been 4 years already. And with that being said, it's time for the Olympic Games. Schools will be stressing athletics because healthy bodies are a must. In honor of Zeus, all fighting and trading will be called off. Since 776 BC, athletes have been traveling to the sanctuary of Zeus in Olympia to compete in the Olympics. Now, as a reminder, the Olympic Games are only for male athletes. Women cannot attend, even just as a spectator. To the women, if you want to compete in a race, you can attend the games that honor the goddess Hera. This year's games will include the following: foot racing, the broad jump, discus throw, boxing, and wrestling. Also, the pentathlon, which combines running, jumping, throwing the discus, wrestling, and hurling the javelin. So make sure you are ready. Olympic winners will be crowned with a wreath of olive leaves and will be excused from paying taxes. There will be a single stage race, which is at most 240 meters. The Dialyos, also known as the two-stage race, is a 384-yard race. Also, a long-distance run, which will range from 1,344 meters to 4,608 meters. In the fourth race, the runners will be wearing full armor. This race is 384 meters to 768 meters long. The fourth race is used to help the runners gain stamina and speed for the military. And that's all we have for the Olympics. Back to you.
Thank you. Now on to our final interview for the night between Apollotus and Homer.
Hey everyone, it's Apollotus here for BCE News, giving you all you need to know about your everyday BCE entertainment. Today our special guest comes all the way from Greece. He's this week's best-selling author for the book The Iliad, and he's on Oprah's favorite book list. Here's Homer. Wave to the people at home, Homer. So Homer, how was your trip to Crete?
Good.
Do you plan on doing any sightseeing while you're in town?
No, I'm blind.
My apologies. Speaking of your vision, does being blind make it more difficult to write stories such as the Iliad?
Well, obviously, it'd be tremendously difficult for me to literally write my stories down. So I speak my stories and have someone put it on paper.
Yes, that makes a lot more sense. Also, people at home want to know why all of your writings are epic.
Well, when you grow up around a certain environment, it's all you know. I grew up being epic and awesome, so I like to reflect that in my work.
Well, it really shows through. Now about your book, The Iliad. What was the reasoning for writing such a magnificent piece of literature?
In all honesty, there are no real reasons besides for love, money, and fame.
How vain of you.
You didn't let me finish. I also felt like it was my duty. What's so funny?
Nothing, you said duty. So I hear you're writing a new book as we speak. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I can't get into detail about it, but it's a sequel to the Iliad.
Have you toyed with the idea of a title?
I like the Odyssey.
Where did you come up with that title?
It's a mystery that will take to my grave.
Well, enough about your books. Tell us a little about yourself. I hear you're a performer. Tell us about that.
Well, I do some court singing from time to time. I also play the lyre.
That's very interesting. For people who don't know, tell them what a lyre is.
It's basically a 7-stringed harp.
Well, our time is running out here. So one more question before we go.
Yes?
How many fingers am I holding up?
I don't know.
Well, it was nice seeing you, Homer.
Wish I could say the same.
Apollotus here for BCE. Now back to you, Altair.
And that wraps up our newscast for the night.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow for all of your news needs. Take care, Cretes!